Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Aditi from the Global Wildlife Fair team. As a part of our exhibitor webinar, we invite our exhibitors to share their expertise and field experience with wider audience. Today's session features Warbler Tours, one of our exhibitors specializing in birding and wildlife photography tours. In this webinar, we explore landscapes of Spain, from Mediterranean forests to Iberian steppes to Pyrenees, while focusing on three flagship species: Iberian Lynx, Little Bustard, and Bearded Vulture. This session examines not only their natural history and conservation challenges, but also ethical wildlife photography and responsible tourism can actively support long-term conservation efforts. We are pleased to welcome Rafael and Alejandra, co-founders of Warbler Tours, who will be leading today's session. I now invite Rafa and Alejandra to begin the session.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you for connecting today to this webinar. We are really, really happy to be here sharing with you virtually. And happy to bring a little bit of Spain also today.
Yeah, good afternoon, good evening for you. And yeah, we are delighted to be invited to this, and we are excited to show you some very nice stories. Yeah.
Yes. So let's get started. Welcome to all the new ones that are joining. I would like to know if you are already. I would like to know, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, ma'am, I can see your screen.
Okay.
See the presentation. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You see the presentation now then?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much for confirming. Yeah. So, as you already said, we are Rafa and Ale, we are Warbler Tours, and we took part also in Global Wildlife Fair last year. We were so happy to visit, so happy to be an exhibitor in such a nice event, and also looking forward for the next year. Oh, no, for the present year, sorry. Just an starter, if you want to follow us in social media or website or wherever, this is all our data. Rafael Armada photo and Ale de Colibri. We try to be active, and if at some point you have any doubt about the content of this presentation or wherever else you find in our profiles or websites, feel free to reach out, and we try as much as we can to reply to your messages and questions and anything. And so,
Yeah, we are going to talk about this, not about Spain, but our places in Spain. So we take here three species from our country. So first, we want to let know to the people that they don't know much about Europe or Western Europe. Spain is one of the biggest countries in Europe. In comparison with India, is nothing, but in European terms, it's a big country, and is well positioned because it's between Europe and Africa. So it's like a bridge between Europe and Africa. And because we have just north of Spain and doing like a barrier with France, we have the Pyrenees mountains, and that creates like a differential area in whole Europe. So this is why we have some endemic species or near endemic species that we share with Portugal, but we share also with North Africa, but also some species from Europe. So this is why it's so different, from the rest of Europe. And especially the three species that we are going to talk, there are the stories that we will talk, there are mainly from these areas. All the pictures you will see, most of them taken by us, because it's what we do. We are photographers, wildlife photographers. Most of them, there are one for the Pyrenees, which is a Bearded Vulture, little bustards in Catalonia, West Catalonia, which is East Spain, and Central Spain, which is Southern Madrid. and Bearded Vulture in near Andalusia
Iberian
region.
Lynx.
Iberian Lynx, yeah, Vulture in the Pyrenees. Iberian Lynx, sorry, in near Andalusia. So these are the places that we normally take people to take photographs and yeah, and it's the base of the stories that we are talking about now.
Yeah, so these three flagship species, they are flagship because, of course, they are stunning. They are incredible creatures. They are beautiful. And something that they have in common is that they are highly specialized species. And that high specialization has marked their existence, and it has marked also the story about the species, because the three of them, they face different challenges because of that level of specialization. So we wanted to bring these three because they have very interesting stories behind, and we always like, as photographers, as wildlife photographers, to put in a lot of value all the natural history and the conservation behind the species that we are photographing, because I think it's the most kind gesture we can do with the wildlife that we appreciate that much. And we want to talk about them. We want to share their stories with the broad public. And also we want to share it with you today, because I know that maybe many of you which are connected today is because at some point you are thinking about visiting Spain, or have you been dreaming about photographing this species. So this is also something that you will find very interesting. So the first story we want to start is the Iberian Lynx, because this species has been an icon, a story of hope, as we say, because, well, the Iberian Lynx is possibly the most iconic wildcat of this part of Europe. And as many of you may know, this species was so famous because in the beginning of the 20th century, in 2001, there were only remaining 62 individuals in the wild. So this species was in a very imminent risk of extinction. And from that point, it was like a break point to start a massive amount of conservation strategies, because the species was in critically endangered status. And basically there were two populations, one in Doñana and one in Sierra Morena. They were isolated. And well, it was a really, really difficult challenge to face, tough times for this species. Yeah. Well, the main causes of the decline, the drivers of this, were, of course, the habitat loss, as is for many of the endangered species we have in all around the globe, but also direct persecution. And in this particular case, the prey decline, because the Iberian lynx, they are specialized in a type of habitat, which is the mosaic of the Mediterranean forest. It's a forest with shrubs, with very interesting dynamics. And in that places is where the European rabbits, they can live. But the prey, they depend on the rabbits. They were declining also dramatically. So that put the species in the brink of extinction, basically. And to avoid it, there were many life conservation initiatives, many initiatives also from non-governmental and governmental parties, that they put together a lot of effort in doing, well, many different type of works. There were breeding in captivity or reintroduction in the wild. There were a very nice strategy of control of the genetic flux in between populations, and also monitoring, restoring of habitat. And step by step, this cat start, well, from the 62 mature individuals that we had in 2001, then they passed to 648 in 2022. And last year, the species reached more than 2,000 individuals in the wild, which is an incredible, unbelievable recovery of a mammal, and a really nice example of how conservation can work to save a species from the extinction. And well, now the species is vulnerable, Yeah. And it's possible to photograph this species, of course, here in many different places. Basically, there were places in which the restoration of the land, it allowed to have more healthy populations of rabbits and sustained in the time to support, of course, the population of Iberian lynx. And in these places, they run ecotourism. In some of them, of course, they run ecotourism strategies. Basically, we have here in the south of Spain, Sierra Morena.
Yeah, central and south of Spain. Yeah, we have several places where we collaborate with people that they do efforts as well to protect and to buy land and etc. for the cat. And the same happens with different species, but this species works like an umbrella species. So preserving the lynx means you preserve many other animals and habitats. So this is like a good excuse to protect the whole habitat, all Mediterranean forest, which is the main thing. Yeah. And now this is the actually map, the current map, geographic range, sorry, of the lynx. But even I think this map is from last year. So this year is still a bit bigger, and there are projects of reintroduction of lynx in the east, not far from Catalonia, near Valencia, but also in the north. And because they have many lynx tagged with radio transmitters, they have seen that they are moving possibly in whole Spain. We have records in the Pyrenees, and we have records also in the south, Tarifa, in the east. So there is many different records. So the animals are just spreading, and yeah. Now I think the actual map is a bit bigger than this one, and there's a big hope for the species, really. Yeah.
Exactly. And of course, well, this is now not anymore an icon of a species that is going to be extinct soon, but now it's an icon of how it can recover, how nature is resilient, and how it's possible that if we put together effort and resources and commitment from so many different angles, it can be completely the difference in between life and death for a species. And well, there's of course ongoing conservation challenges. Habitat loss is still an ongoing challenge. The prey decline is still an ongoing challenge. And the places in which the Iberian lynx is being reintroduced, the rabbits are continuously taking care of them because the population need to be healthy, and mainly the road mortality because the species is really dispersive. And now they are facing this problem because when they move from a territory to the other one, they finish in the below a track.
Yeah, this is why I said there is in habitat loss. There are many people buying land just to protect
them.
The lynx. So yeah, is something we really like to collaborate with people. Like, okay, we put money here as well from our clients, from us, to protect the species, to protect land, to have more animals, and it's like a circle, no? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a way to give back, a little bit of the because well, conservation needs also the economics. They need the community, the local community, to have the different possibilities from the economical part.
Yeah. So what we do is exactly what I said is we collaborate with people that they are buying land or they protect, or even some of the people that are veterinarians that they take care of the animals they found injured and etc.
Well, most of the pictures, no. Yeah, most of the pictures, because it's possible to photograph the lynx from safaris, which is really nice. It's very, it's amazing. It's a super nice creature to see even from far away.
Yeah, but normally you need long telelenses. Yeah. But yeah, we have two strategies. One is with safaris and the other is using hides. Some of the hides are with glass, some others without glass. Some animals are super confident, some other are a bit more shy. But today, yeah, there's it's a easy species to photograph, as you have seen with the pictures. It's not something like going for, I don't know, snow leopard. No, you have to walk a lot, and you have to climb, and you have to suffer the cold, and no. So yeah, it's
a fairly accessible species, actually. Yeah, for photographers, for wildlife photographers, is of course never a wild encounter is guaranteed, but yeah, with the lynxes and the population growing and all of this, is quite possible to.
and easy to combine with eagles and with many other animals and birds and
Yes. Yeah. If you want to take a look a little bit more in depth of logistics about how to visit a place for photographing links, or a little bit more details, we have some itineraries in our website. Not all of them are there posted, but also if you have any question or something, you can contact us. And you can visit this link also. And it's a wonderful creature. We are more of birds, but of course the Iberian lynx is very well placed in our hearts. Yeah. And so the second species we want to talk about is the little bustard. Little bustard is an unbelievable species. I think this is possibly the most iconic type of view of a little bustard, because
displaying.
yes, this is part of their courtship display.
Yeah, they display for 2 to 4 weeks, and they do like small jumps. They do like so before to
It's very charming for the female bustards.
female. Yeah. So they do this noise, they jump, and they move the wings, and you can hear, because we are super close. You can hear the feathers, the noise of the feathers very close to you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very sensitive species because it's also a high specialist. And in this case, they are specialists in doing these courtship displays and all the breeding season. They spend their lives in the steppes. And they depend on the steppes, on a healthy place where they can feed, where they can establish a territory. The males, they are especially territorial. They need to be far away enough of the next male, but they cannot be so far away that they cannot compete, because it's part of their strategy of the species for their reproduction and for the polish of the species itself. And so the problem is that the steppes are disappearing, because it's a type of habitat that it's easy to destroy. Basically, it's easy to transform into agricultural crops, into pastures, or to just build roads or whatever. And the thing is that now the breeding populations of little bustards in Spain and in Europe are very fragmented.
Declining a lot. As you can see here in the map, this is a world distribution. There are 3 kinds of colors. The violet is it's like for resident birds. We say residents, but what they do is they move inside these areas, so they don't stay all year round in the same field, not at all, but they move around here. And we have the other color, which is the orange, which there is where they only breed, and the light blue is where they winter. And as we can see here in India, we share this species because it's possible to see in India in the northwest, in this small corner. So maybe some of you already seen the little bustard, but I don't think you had the chances to see it doing the breeding, the courtship. Yeah.
Well, and at present, the European population, well, because we are here in Spain and we are focused in this part of the distribution, they are declining, especially because of the intensification of agricultural techniques, which are so aggressive with the land, and they allow to work in massive areas, and there's no room enough for the bustards to establish in between the harvest season and all of it. And so the problem also is that it's not monitored in all the distribution range. It's monitored only in a few countries, and the numbers are not nice at all. Normally, currently, the main drivers of decline of this species is the hunting in some places, the agricultural intensification. Also, there's problem with the power lines, the unprotected power lines, the effects of global warming in terms of habitat, of course, and the main problem is that there is no strong enough conservation initiatives behind this species. So we feel also responsible a little bit, of as much as we can talk about this bird, of how important they are, how special they are, or even how beautiful they are, and if we can connect with the feeling of an icon of a habitat that is very poorly known, that's for us is a goal. And so the sad numbers is that in between 1998 and 2012 in Spain, for example, we lost 48% of the population of little bustards. And it's then, it's very, very, very sad, because basically it's a species that is disappearing in silence, and we need to do something about it. We need to think about it.
We talked about 12 years ago, 14 years ago. So now the numbers are not better. They're even worse. So we don't know the number today, but I'm sure if we start to count 98, I'm sure it's near 60, 65% lost of little boosters.
Yeah, it's a very, very, very steep decline. And the future is not, there's not a lot of hope if we continue this trend. Now the species is near threatened, mostly because the distribution range is big, very big. However, the core of the European population is here. The trend is very bad. So the ecosystem they rely on, they are very fragile, and what we need to do is to put in value that even if a crop is let as it is for 1 year, they rest 1 year of harvesting, the little bustards they establish in the territory, and they find it viable to do one reproductive cycle.
Yeah, you can see here in this slide. Yeah. Behind this bird, this cereal crop.
Yeah, and in front also another one.
Yeah. No, in front is a field that is not it's not harvest. It's not cultivate. It's not plant. So it's like wild, and it's full of little boosters. Yeah.
Yeah, they are so they can adapt if there's enough room for them. So, the conservation programs which are ongoing is basically to protect areas where they can breed. The protection also or the establishment of new reserves, new natural reserves. And the most important thing would be to find a collaborative scheme in between the agricultural techniques and the coexistence with this species that was adapted to the way of harvesting of agricultural traditional that we had, but now they are not fast enough to adapt to them.
And the same that happens with the lynx. This species works as umbrella species because below, no, I don't want to say below, but under this species there are some other brown, boring birds that nobody pays attention, but they are in very, very danger. So if we manage to protect this one, we will protect the rest of especially larks and quails and all this stuff, no?
Exactly. Yeah. So right now there's some monitoring programs, of course. There's some places in which this is ongoing, and researchers are doing really, really nice stuff. Here, for example, you see an individual marked with one of these backpacks, I don't know how to say, antennas, for monitoring, but we need more of this. We need a lot more, and if there's more people interested in the species, there will be, of course, more resources for them. So that's a key. For taking pictures of a bird like this, doing this type of behavior is necessary to be responsible because it's so sensitive. They do not display if the wind is blowing in the opposite side. They do not display if they don't find another male nearby and they can compete. They do not display if they are not in good physical condition. And it's very little time to take photographs and nice records of this type of behavior. But we as photographers, we need to be very responsible with this also. So there's specialized heights in which owners, they are doing very well in doing it in very respectful. You have to enter in the dark. You have to be super quiet. You have to, it's, and the less as we can disturb the bird, because otherwise we cannot find this anymore in the wild. And of course, they manage the permits, of course, about it.
Yeah, these people also that are involved on programs of
conservation.
buying land, etc. Yeah, of course. And this is the kind of partners we work with. Yeah.
Yes, so over the past 20 years, the population trends have not reversed. There's not enough conservation behind this bird, and we need to do something, basically. Yes. This is unbelievable. I mean, this type of behavior in nature.
I still remember when I took this picture. I was, the first jumps, I couldn't take any picture because we were, as a birders, we normally see these birds with a telescope. We see in the far, oh, this is nice, jumping. But when you have a bird, I don't know, 6 meters away, 8 meters away, it's like, whoa, mamma mia. This is incredible. I can't believe. So it's I still remember the day I took this picture, and it's easy to take this. You have to be in the right time, in the right place, and many things in the right order. But when everything is in order, it's possible to take this. And also, it's possible to combine these pictures with links. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So they are not exactly in the same area, but it's possible to.
In the same season, it's possible to do both. Yeah. For the little bustard, it's very, very important. If you plan a trip, you have to be very careful about the dates because they do not display all year round, not even all the spring.
But not even this. Depends of the parts of Spain they do in some weeks and in the other parts in some others, because here in southern Spain is hotter than northern Spain, so they finish before than in the north. So it has to be.
Yeah, it has to be careful. But anyway, if you want to know a little bit more about this species,
have some questions, please free to ask. Yeah. No problem. Yeah.
And so how we are on time?
Okay, we have the Bearded Vulture.
Yeah.
To finish with the king.
Oh my God. Yeah, I have not enough words to say how much I like this species. It's also a species that we can find in India, isn't it?
Yeah. I've seen in India. Yeah. Yeah, with snow leopards, Bearded Vultures. Yeah.
And again, we are talking about a highly specialized bird. They are just magnificent. Well, Bearded Vulture, some people also call them Lammergeier or Lammergeier. I don't know how to pronounce. Yeah. They are specialized because they are high mountain scavengers. They have this incredible, I would say, superpower of digest they base their diet in bones. It's just crazy. Well, the Bearded Vulture, they live up to 4,800 meters in altitude.
In Himalayas, yeah. I think in the next.
Exactly. Yeah. But here we find it in lower altitudes. Of course.
This is the top. The maximum is 4,800, but here this is a world distribution.
Yeah, this is.
We talk here about Spain, which is Pyrenees, but it's mainly in Pyrenees. But now we have pairs scattered in most, I won't say all the country, but in many places because it's doing so well in the Pyrenees. I think I talked with the people that they work with species last week, and they told me just in Pyrenees there's 1,000
800.
1,000 birds, I think. More than 1,000 birds just in the Pyrenees. So there are, because there is no room, they have to colonize the rest of Spain, and also they do it in France, and yeah. I think we explained here in the
Yeah. Well, basically, this is how they get the name. Well, at least in Spanish. In Spanish, we call them quebrantahuesos. Quebranta means break, and huesos is bones. They break bones, and it's really unbelievable behavior, because what they do is that when they find carcasses that the other vultures, they went and they eat the flesh and all of it, they go for the carcasses and they help the environment to get rid of the bones. So what they do, they hold them, and from very high, 80 meters, 100 meters, they drop them. So the carcasses, they open and they eat the remains in, swallowable parts. It's just unbelievable. So the digestive system of this bird is one of the most powerful in nature, of course, because, well, they can digest the bone as it is. And this is a very curious data I found, is that they have a pH close to 1 in the stomach.
But you are the only one who understands you, because you are chemist.
Incredibly acid.
Chemist, I don't know. It's incredibly acid.
Incredibly acid, and they can digest the bones in just a matter of hours. Well, and the size of the body parts that they can, it's just crazy. So they look different through life. They have different plumages. When we see juveniles, they are wearing this super nice, blackish coat with a little bit of brown. They have patches, and they are so nice. But as you see, for example, the eye is pale. They have this paler color here in the bill. And as they grow, they develop the characteristic red eye-ring, yeah. And they start to get, of course, more shiny, more bright in plumage. And then when they are adults, well, when they're still immature, they look a little bit mottled. Yeah. But they start growing the characteristic bird, of course.
I think takes 5 years to get 5 to 6 years to get an adult plumage. So there are different stages of plumages, different plumages. Yeah,
it's incredible. Yeah, and a grown up, they will look like this. Yeah. However, they have a trick. Yes, they have a trick, because they should be, if you read in books, they should be white.
Oh, they are white. We see
they are white,
yeah.
But they look orange. And the thing is that the orange is something they decide to wear, because what they do is that they bathe in water streams that are rich with iron minerals. And so what they do is they stain the feathers. And it's a way like to show, well, like the hypothesis is that that's a show of wellness, of a good physical condition, and also, and this is unbelievable, a status mark. Yeah. It's a species which is highly hierarchical also. They live many together, and they have hierarchies, and well, they wear makeup, basically. So the thing is that the Bearded Vulture, yeah, they are impressive, they're stunning, they are so, iconic. But the thing is that beauty, it hasn't been enough to protect this bird from the very difficult times that they have faced. Because, well, the current classification of the species is near threatened, but they have been suffering a lot in the past.
Especially in Europe.
Especially in Europe.
They were the brink of extinction.
Yes.
In the 70s, 80s, I think.
Yeah, well, basically in the 20th century, no? 20th century, because they are they have a very important role in nature. They have to get rid of the carcasses when a dead body is body of animal, or they are found in the mountains. However, many of the carcasses, they have been poisoned with the pharmaceuticals that they use for the cattle, for example. And it was found that the diclofenac that they use as veterinary drug is poison for the lammergeiers. And same happened in India with not only bearded vulture, with general.
With vultures,
with vultures.
With one species of vulture.
And so, it was very, very tough. There were only 69 pairs at some point in whole Spain.
Pyrenees,
In Pyrenees. Yeah, they also suffer because they do not coexist very well with the power lines. They also suffer a lot with the wind turbines, with the windmills. They collide and they die. And they are also exposed to lead, because when there's lead remaining in the carcasses, they can accumulate it in the organism. So and also there's another factor, which is the disturbance, because as some places they get more accessible for humans as natural parks and or roads, climbers. When they are nesting, they are very sensitive and they can abandon the nest if there's many disturbance, or if there's a construction or a windmill, these type of things. It's very, very bad for this species.
Yes.
It's a little bit of history now.
39 breeding pairs.
Yes. Yes. So, in the mid 20th century, the conservation for this species started to take part as a big portion of the agenda of conservation in Europe, and now the population is increasing slowly, but increasing. There's still a lot of risk associated with this species, and there's something which is being essential, and it's basically monitoring, putting effort of locals, that they are even doing supplementary feeding to allow the access to healthy food, because right now is kind of complicated for this species to survive. In the Pyrenees, we currently have approximately 45% of the European breeding population of the bearded vulture. They are doing very well in this side of the continent. Exactly. In total, we estimate 1,000 individuals in the Pyrenees. As you see, in some places we can find these birds which are tagged, and they have been monitored for, I don't know, maybe 20 years. And it's so nice to see also the evolution, the trends in a species which is slowly recovering, and is slowly coming back and having healthy numbers again. The core conservation, of course, is the legal part. It needs to be protected. They require enough resources. Of course, the captive breeding, the monitoring, the supplementary feeding programs, which also allows us to take pictures, because in the feeding station it's possible to do this type of pictures that we are seeing now. Of course, it's important to put more strong regulation on the energy sector, for the power lines and for the wind turbines. We need to prevent the poisoning as a main target, of course. The habitat protection is important also, and of course the genetic management, as with many other species.
Yeah.
I love this picture.
Most of the pictures, all of the pictures that you have been seeing here are taken in 2-3 locations. Super easy to access, all year round, and it's an incredible place, because sometimes we see 15 together. I've seen 15 together in the same field, but I have a friend who saw 1 year, 35 individuals all together eating bones in front of the hide. So yeah, it's quite remarkable, not only for Bearded Vulture, but also for Cinereus, Griffons, and even, depends of the time of the year, Egyptian Vulture.
Exactly.
So yeah, before was a very, very complicated species to photograph, and now is, if you go to the right places, is quite easy. Yeah, all year round. Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah.
And there's also some opportunities of itineraries that combine not only specialized hides, but also routes in which you can see them circling with the thermal currents, with other species of vultures, lovely landscapes. And this type of encounters, that make the experiences so memorable.
Golden eagle,
Yeah.
Bonelli seagull, yeah, or more or less all together in a small area. So this is also a very, very interesting species to photograph here in Spain. And
Exactly. We finished. And so, again, as with the other species, if you want to take a look a little bit more about logistics, about how to go, where to go, when to go, just take a look at it or write us. We are always open to help. And that was it. At least in terms of the webinar. I think we have a Q&A session, and I don't know if we have time.
Yeah, we have time. Yeah, we have time. Yeah, and I think we have some questions are here ready. So
okay,
because we
I'm
need
not
to scale.
so skilled about these platforms, but if I say stop sharing, of course, stop sharing. Perfect. I close this, and here in the chat, okay, how are we going to manage the Q&A?
So I'll ask the question and then you can answer it for them.
Okay.
Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, so Arif has a question for you. In different ecosystems, these species depend on what key threats. In different ecosystems, these species depend on what key threats are currently impacting their survival.
Yeah, it's as we said through the presentation. Well, they are specialists. They rely on the availability of enough food in the ecosystem. They depend on the Iberian Lynx in the Mediterranean forest, the little Bustard in the steppes, and the Lammergeier in the mountains. And basically, what we need is to set up a good framework of well-preserved ecosystems, because everything is connected in the end.
Yeah. We still have people here that still shoot the birds. Yeah.
Illegally.
Of course. They poison illegally.
Yeah.
So they found last week or 2 weeks ago, they found a 30 years old Lammergeier, or a Bearded Vulture, who was found dead, poisoned by, who knows?
Yeah, and like a month ago, or maybe a little bit longer, I maybe the time frame is a bit confusing now, but there was a famous one. His name was Centenario, which means 100 years, and there was this
Yeah,
yeah, and he was electrocuted. Yeah. Yeah. So it's very tough to be a bird these days. Yeah.
Okay, so does anybody have any other questions? Okay, Arif. So Arif is saying thank you for answering the question. I don't think we have any more questions.
Problem.
Okay, so on a personal note, I know it might seem a little bit hypocritical to ask this, but how was your experience exhibiting with us?
The
experience of exhibiting in wildlife fair.
Oh, it was super nice. Yeah, we love it, and we especially people.
Yes.
We Yeah, the people in India are so open, so nice, so charming, always laughing, and we feel like at home. Really, we come from Latin countries.
I am from Latin America, and I love this type of interaction. So you're so warm, you're so welcoming. Yeah, it was really really nice experience.
We enjoy. You enjoy a lot, and we enjoy the food and everything, music. Ali was singing.
Oh my God, I already
I
forgot.
remember that.
It's one of the highlights of the fair. Yeah.
If we have a couple more questions. Yes,
So,
let's
Anuj,
go.
Anuj wants to ask what sort of physical fitness is required to go on these tours?
Nothing.
No.
Nada.
No, it's very easy to access the places. In everywhere you have options. You can walk if you want, but normally to enter a specialized hide, you need to go by car. You have to be very, well, yeah, to take care, because it's not about going and scaring everything when you pass by. No, the animals, they are not stressed if they see a car, but if they see many people walking, they get stressed. So we try to enter, very carefully and silently and quietly to the places for specialized photography hides. And then if we go in safaris, of course, we go by car. So we do stops, and normally there's no highly demanding
But not even no highly demanding. No,
not even mild.
not even
No,
mild.
yeah.
It's not a problem at all. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so Amrut has a question. How can wildlife photographers and nature tourists ensure their presence actively supports conservation rather than unintentionally disturbing these species?
Okay,
Yeah.
I like this question, really, and I think it's very, very, very important. And okay, we live where we live. We live in the planet Earth. We are 7,000 millions of humans now,
Or
and
even
blah blah.
eight.
Yeah, or even 8,000. So I think the idea of not undisturbing or not touching anything, let's say, is it's quite naive, because in some way we are part of, or
We are disturbing
we are
the
disturbing
animal.
some way. So this is why it's so important that that from our experience, is the best is to use services, or to be with people that that there is something behind this. You know what I mean? Is if these people are working with the species, if these people are putting money on the species, and if they do something else, this is good, even if they get money. Because if they don't get money, means they will use this land for some other purposes, because they will need money. Everyone needs money. So this is the idea. The idea is, okay, we need to find the right balance between disturbance and conservation and monetizing for part of the people. Because if the people cannot eat, local people, especially we talk about local people, if they cannot eat, they will find a plan B.
Yeah,
And the plan B normally is a disaster. So I think the rational way, or the good way, is to use part of the services that some good professionals put in the market. No?
Exactly. That for the side of, where to go. And from our part as individuals, of course, we have to try to disturb us as least as we can. But even though, we are already disturbing the species that live in the middle of the ocean, they will never see a city. They will never probably see a human, and we are disturbing them. So yeah, we at some point we also have the responsibility to show at least and communicate with kindness and with awareness what we are seeing, and to highlight the good things, and to try to avoid more damage than the damage we are already causing as humans, as humans itself. So yeah, that's our philosophy more or less about this.
Okay, so Anish also has a question for you. From your field experience, what makes species like Iberian Lynx, Little Bustard, and Bearded Vulture particularly challenging to photograph ethically?
Well, the challenge is also that there's regulation that we need to follow.
Yeah.
There's regulate. They are protected species, at least here in Spain, fortunately. So it's important to be informed. It's important to act ethically and to read about the species, to read about the territories we are in, because even something that we could consider not harmful, like I see a little Bustard, let's get out of the car. No, because then the Bustard, they will not display. They see a human, they are afraid. And that can affect the individual and that nuclei of population very, very bad. Or they can abandon the territory, or they can give up. So we have to be mindful about this, because even things that we don't think is bad, that they are bad, they could be harmful. So the most important is to be up to date. Okay, do I need a permit? Do I need to be how far? Yeah, and we have to develop like to smell. When you don't feel comfortable enough doing something, you have to be cautious and try to ask and double check and these type of things.
Yeah, and of course, we only work with people that they have all the permits and etc. Of course, this is not always a super regulate here. Yeah, and we are conservationists. We are photographers, but we work with conservation. So it's this is part of us. Yeah.
Okay, so Priya also has a question for you. Which is the best month to see the Iberian Lynx and for this tour?
Well, we said this, Iberian Lynx, now you can see wherever you want during all year round. The problem is if you come in summer, is like to be in Gujarat, maybe. There's very hot. But even some of the heights, they have air condition.
Yes.
So, and in winter they have a heater. So now it's all year round for lynx. If we want to photograph little boosters is between April and May. So it's possible to combine April and May with Iberian Lynx. And for Bearded Vulture also it's all year round. The only thing is very far away from one place to the other, but it's possible to do the three species between April and May. Yeah, with a bit of kilometers in the middle, but
yes,
it's possible to do it all at the same time.
Yeah, and the good thing is that, for example, for the Iberian Lynx and the Bearded Vulture, since they are residents, basically what you find is that you can, choose maybe the winter if you want to have a chance of get the snow shots or these type of things, or for the cubs of the Iberian Lynx, which are July, May,
June, you can get the cubs, depends what you want.
Exactly.
Okay, so Anuj sir also has a question for you. Do the heights use bait to attract the species?
No. Well, the lynx, no. The little boosters, no. And the Bearded Vultures, these places, they are part of the feeding stations from the government. Conservation
programs.
So it's not like someone wants to throw some bones and they come. No. They're super regular, super legislate, and this, for instance, one of the places has been doing for more than 20 years, and it's
Exactly. For lynx, what we have is heights in which they have ponds, for example, ponds with water, because availability of water in some season is very, very difficult. So it's a way to not guarantee, never guaranteed, but to increase the likeliness of having the lynx drinking, even with the puppies. And yeah, but no live bait or this type of things.
No, even
nothing.
bait. No,
Not
not at
even
all.
bait.
No.
Yes.
Okay. So Rohit sir also has a question for you. What more wild species we can see in lynx habitat?
Ooh. Where is the list?
Where start?
List.
Start.
Well, it's Mediterranean forest, so yeah, we have mammals. We can see like rabbits, of course, hares, genet, stone martins, and badgers, deers,
Yeah.
otters, wild birds.
Yeah.
These mammals, yeah. And for birds, name it. Cinere's vulture, Spanish imperial eagle, golden eagle, Bonelli's eagle, eagle owl, lots of passerines, blue rock thrush, I don't know.
Yeah.
Warblers, lots of warblers, yeah. Yeah,
Woodpeckers.
woodpeckers, yeah, Sharpei, Iberian green woodpecker. Yeah, many species really. There's lots of them, yeah. And if depends of the time of the year, this with flowers. So if you come in the spring, you have all the landscape full of flowers, small flowers with these partridges singing top of the stones with flowers around. So it's super nice, yeah.
Like a Monet.
Like a Monet. So yeah.
Okay, so does anybody have any more questions? I think not. So thank you, Rafa sir and ma'am, for a truly insightful session and for sharing your field experiences from Spain's diverse landscapes. We appreciate the important work that Warbler Tours is doing, promoting ethical wildlife photography and responsible tourism that supports long term conservation. The recording of this webinar will be shared shortly. Thank you, everyone, for your time and participation. We look forward to having you at the Global Wildlife Fair and our upcoming webinars.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Thank
you for being here, to you all.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.